Alright, so this is a kind of video I've seen other bands do and other artists, and I really like watching them, so I figured I'll do one for my song. So this is Self-Discipline, the first single I've come up with so far. And this is the system I make music in, obviously. It's a DAW. People watching this probably know it's just Logic X. But yeah, so I folder all my stuff up. I use way too many tracks and effects, so it'd be kind of cool to dig through here. So let's just hit go and I'll break it down as we go. Okay, mate, let's start with the top. Okay, so, boom, as you can see, the X, go away. How can I make it stay? Okay, now, okay, there we go, never mind. I'm figuring out how to make my voice record here. In the extra guitars folder, the intro is actually... Okay, how can I make everything solo properly? There we go, I am learning all the buttons. Okay. Onwards, these are the intros. So, let's break it down a little bit. That's just guitars. So we've got the main guitar doing this. That's a big kind of dreamy, echoey guitar sound. Then we've got the low. There's a low, low, and low E. Low E is just the echo. So we have the dry. Just another kind of half of the chord. And then the low E is just that same part, but with the big dreamy echo on them. So altogether you get that nice. There you go. So that's how I build a part. So they're highs. We have a high part too. So just way up there, so the low and the high together make that kind of shimmery thing. And we've got this octave, just playing a single note, I believe. Really basic part, but it just kind of gives the... It's kind of like the bass part, I guess, but on a guitar. Then this is cool. So that's how I make the sound. That's the intro right there. That's what I wrote, and that's how it goes. But then there's more, obviously. There's the call and response bit that goes on top, which I think is really neat, which altogether sounds like this. So I'm just making my own echo essentially. So you heard just that one that starts it off, and then we have a little 4-track harmony thing. So we've got, let's see, one. Playing just an exact echo of what happened, and then there's a harmony on the echo. So you have, like I said, completely dry. It sounds kind of cool. But the echo was boring, so I made the echo cooler. Yeah, okay, so there is most of the intro. Now, without that, there is still always more. So we have these synth tracks. There's all kinds of electro stuff going on in this song too. But the intro is simple. It's just this little pad making this sound. Oh, sorry, it's strings. I guess this is strings. I should read. There's actually strings throughout a good chunk of this song. Even right there, that's where the drums and everything kick in. And yeah, here, I'll play it. So as you can see, I was zooming out there, and these are this is the automations. This is the volume going up and down. But yeah, the strings come and go throughout the whole thing, really. And then there's the electronics kind of start in the second chorus area. So okay, we'll get with that later. Okay, so we went through the intro now. Let's just let it slide. Okay, so all we have there is the heavy guitars and playing their big chunky chunk thing. I use 2 different sounds, and then I track each of those sounds 2 different ways. So we have a PV guitar amp sound. And a Mesa Boogie guitar amp sound, just for the blend. So you can see they both have their own kind of character, so together they make a really large. And then obviously I use all kinds of fancy EQ. I'll give you just a little preview of what that does. So if I turn off all of my processing on the guitar tracks, and you hear just how they sound like this. And I'll turn stuff on as we hear. So here I have 3 different EQs going on. So each one I EQ a little bit, just very basically to get rid of shit I don't like, and then kind of boost what I do. And then after that, they all go together, and then I work on them all as one sound. So they go through a microphone preamp then, kind of console style. And then I just, again, this time it's simple. I carve out a little bit extra low end, and then some of the mud, because there's so much other stuff going on in this song. So big guitar sounds. And then they work really well too when it gets heavier later with that big chunky chunk thing. Where is it? Just big Metallica chords, basically. I had Dave and Mike Young, I should mention, edited these for me and did I think it was Mike that did these particular ones, but the 2 of them work together and are so good. Oh my God. They made me sound like I can actually play guitar. Then quick drum track, I'll just ISO it. It's Superior Drummer. It's a preset I downloaded years ago and have just kind of tweaked to liking. So it's all of the crazy drum kit and microphones and everything are all digital. So I hit play on that. And I just have one nice, neat little track of drums. I do a little bit of stuff to them. There's a sub bass thing. Doing a little bit of kick stuff, and then I take a little bit of high end off too to give the synths more room. But anyways, they're simple. Bass guitar is just bass guitar. I recorded that, I don't even know when. And yeah, let's get into the vocals. So the intro has just 2 bits to it. So there's a low part. These aren't sung very well. They just all kind of blend together nicely. From a lover to another, it's the perfect day to shine. So that one's like auto-tuned to hell and just kind of like mumbled out. But it works. I was probably half asleep when I wrote it. And even though we're worlds apart, it's not too soon to say you're mine. And it follows through. So then there's the main. From a lover to another, it's the perfect. As you mentioned, in these folders is how I did the vocal processing. So every one part is 4. And then these ones, again, I did an interesting thing where I ran the vocals out to a guitar pedal for echo and stuff. So anyways, the vocals, one take just sounds like this. Lover to another, it's the perfect day to shine. Pretty weak, honestly. It's the very top of what I can kind of yell, so my voice isn't the strongest there. But anyways, I just do 1 on the hard left, so here's the pan there. 1 hard left, 1 half left, 1 half right, 1 hard right, and they just fill out nicely. From a lover to another, it's the perfect day to shine. Especially since they're all really tight with each other, which I edited the crap out of. And then here's the echo sound, just dry echo, or just wet echo, I should say. It's mostly just like a spring reverb, but when you put them together, you get the nice swell. From a lover to another, it's the perfect day to shine. Really, they jump out of the mix a little bit too much, but since it's the intro, I kind of like it. It's just, This is just like, hey, 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 let me get your attention. And then we go into a real song. And the last big hey is the 3-part harmony scream thing. So initially I had just this track, the low in this. You're mine. It kind of sounded right, like this was supposed to be kind of one voice. But as you can hear, it's clearly not the same voice because I'm screaming basically and then just singing, maybe shouting a little bit. So I went a little bit higher and got this tone. Which that sounds like this guy basically. You sound like the same person. And it's just me trying to maintain a note and when my voice doesn't want to. And again, same thing, just I did it 4 times, pasted them together. And then it still didn't sound right, so I put on this. This was just kind of a challenge. I did the low one an entire octave higher, and the only way I could do it was just by screaming. And those are not auto-tuned. I've auto-tuned tons of stuff, I'll always admit to it, but those aren't. I did it, and it hurt. So anyways, the 3 of those together, actually I'll play the whole thing all together, make that nice. It's not just to not say.